Hello everyone, this is Delta Zero of Living Vicariously, www.living-vicariously.net. But that's irrelevant, and that's not important. What is important is this, Nintendo 3DS. This is the brand new Nintendo console handheld. It's not just a advanced version of the DS with DSi, DS Lite, DSi XL, DS Lite, XL, Micro, figure that one out. It's the brand new system. It's akin to the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy, the Nintendo DS brand. Brand new graphics, new everything. Also just came out, so it's brand new in that sense too. I got the Aqua Blue DS, or 3DS. So let's suspend our beliefs and let's just act like that I've never opened this before. Which would be horrible because of how badly I just threw everything in here unpackaged. But you get the AR cards, which we'll go into later, which is something that takes advantage of the Nintendo 3DS's three cameras. You have the docking station. Now this is a surprise hit for me personally. All you do is you plug it in via the adapter right here, also included in the system, and you simply slide the 3DS on here. You just place it on. It has a magnetism that locks it in. You lock it in and you forget about it. You forget about it. It's gone. You put it on your nightstand at night, you just throw it on there. Very convenient. Props to Nintendo for including this. However, there is a reason why they want you to consistently charge your 3DS, which we'll get into, which you can probably figure out just by my tone of voice and never-ending sentence. Here's what else comes with it. The Nintendo 3DS operation manual, and also it's thick, but it's in French and Spanish, so it's not too bad. Honestly, haven't really cared to look through it too much, but for someone who isn't familiar with video games or this kind of technology or anything else, this does give you a really nice full-color explanation of everything, so not too bad. Also included is the quick start guide in case you aren't able to turn on the system or understand what a SD card slot is. Yeah. Let's see what else. Same thing like 4 times over. Here is the Place Me, Plaza Me. Here's the right one, Me Plaza. This is an ad for the StreetPass feature. Now what StreetPass is it's the way that the 3DS can communicate with other 3DSs while not being used. So you put 3DS in sleep mode, you enable StreetPass, which you can just do, you can lock it on forever, and it will actually communicate with other 3DSs within your vicinity, meaning you can walk down the street and it will connect with someone else's 3DS if they have StreetPass enabled. Unfortunately, you do have to take it on, so I wonder if it's going to catch on. And there's other reasons why it may not catch on, but hopefully it does. It's definitely a cool feature. You can transfer Mii's wirelessly without even communicating with people. It will just automatically do it. And game information, which is being utilized in the future, hopefully. Also has a bit of a system update. This thing does not come with a web browser, it doesn't come with the eShop, and it doesn't come with the system transfer feature for the DSi downloadable only games, because they kind of launched it a bit early. But hopefully in a couple weeks it's going to launch with the shop, and you can download all the old Game Boy games on the Virtual Console, which I'm personally very excited for. Yeah, that's about it. If you notice, this box does not have a 3DS in it, the main component of the system, why you buy a 3DS in the first place. So this review has been concluded. Oh wait! Actually, I have it right here, in this convenient Club Nintendo bag, which by the way, it does also include Club Nintendo coins. Unfortunately, I think it's about 180 instead of the 250, which is what the system costs. Usually the coins are by the dollar. Not sure why they cheaped around that. It's a very expensive system, but whatever. You can get this bag. I think, oh, actually these are all sold out, so you can't get it. Sorry. Inside of this nice little bag is the nice little system. The 3DS, as you can see, the Aqua Blue is very appealing, very nice looking, shiny. I call it Metal Gear Solid 2 Blue because it reminds me of that sort of motif in the game. It's really nice looking. It's shiny, it's smooth, very high-tech looking. On the back you see kind of like the real color of it. They have a special coating on top. It's probably hard to see on camera. A special coating to make it that glossy way. Let's just go over the features. On the side, right here, You have the wireless, you just flick it on to turn wireless on or off. The 3D slider, which we'll get into in a bit. Right here, you have the power, and you have the charger and the power. By the way, this will light up. Something around here, I don't know where it is, will light up once you get a notification via StreetPass. Headphone jack, volume, up and down, self-explanatory. And here's something interesting. It's an SD card slot. It comes preloaded with how much? 2 megabytes? No, 2 gigabytes of space. It's automatically in there, Toshiba. It's automatically in the system when you get it. It's preloaded. Not too shabby. That will get you a bit of length. Triggers on the side right here. There we go. Triggers on the side. This is where the system is powered with. This is something to do with the wireless. Real quick, we'll look at the stylus. Looks like a standard stylus, maybe, maybe a little more advanced, but look, it's retractable, which actually does come into play. I mean, this is much more comfortable. It's much more accurate to hold this extended stylus. I approve. Nice. Unfortunately, the stylus is on the opposite side, the left-hand side of the console, which makes right-handed people like myself kind of fiddle around trying to get it. Oh yeah, the game. Probably a very important component of the 3DS. Here's the game. This is a 3DS game. This is Pilot Wings. To compare it to Resident Evil Deadly Silence, you'll notice quite a difference, although it's very same at the same time. For one, dark gray, light gray. For two, this one has a notch, and this one does not. The back is virtually identical. So, yeah, pretty much the same concept we're working with. The 3DS, of course, does play all the old DS games, which gives you an immense back library when you compile it with the old Game Boy games coming on the 3DS shop channel. So how about we start this thing up already? I have it turned off, but here's the system. We'll just go over the aesthetics of it and the features. Right here you see it's a black finish. It's not the aqua blue seen here. I imagine it's because it affects the 3D in some way. It's easier to see with the black on the sides. I don't know for sure. 3DS slider, it will actually tell you if it's 3D in a little LED light or whatever it is. The buttons, standard buttons you expect. Power button down here. The best part about all the side, there's the D-pad, not a bad D-pad at all, pretty nice. And the analog stick, which is also quite nice. It's actually more of a little bit of a nub, but it works well. I will say that I like this quite a bit. Sometimes it feels like it would be beneficial if they had a stick right here, so you can kind of adjust the camera while you're flying a plane or something. But as a handheld device, I don't expect a whole lot, and it does work well. It does play the game, so no complaints here. As you can see, there's a camera right here. This camera is not 3D. Cameras right here are. This is how it makes the 2D images. One image here, one image here. Put them together, it's 3D. Magic. Down here is the slider, select, home, start. They're not actually like buttons like this. They're inside the system. Yeah, that's about it for all the various little knickknacks. Let's start her up. Takes a little bit. Now, you can't see 3D with the camera, so me turning on 3D and seeing like that spin around isn't going to do anything. So it'll probably just make it blurry and hard for you to see, so I'm turning it off for the bulk of this. Real quick, we'll just go over some of the things. I'll put the game in. Real quick, we have health and safety, the 3DS game, 3DS camera, 3DS sound, Me Maker, StreetPass Me Plaza, AR games, face raiders, activity log, download play, system settings, and some mysterious other things that aren't available yet. Let's uncomfortably get the stylus out. Here are the things on top. You can adjust the brightness. If you hate having games that are bright and easy to see, you can press 1. That's like the original DS kind of brightness. Pretty bad. Power saving mode, not sure. You can adjust the icons to be multiplied and smaller and more iPod-like, or preferably just this small for right now. You can also take notes. So when you're playing a game, you can either plug your website like me while you're playing a game because you're psychotic. Whoops, I should not have done that. Hello. Man, I want to scroll it like the iPod. Pretty easy to do. So if you have like a password or you're on some sort of thing where you need to remember a code or something, you can just write it down real quick while you're playing the game and come right back to it. Friend list. I have a friend who has a 3DS, but I have actually a couple friends who have a 3DS, but I have not seen them in a while, so there you go. Here's my friend code, everybody. If you want to play with me, I am always looking for someone to hang out with in the virtual worlds. That sounds very lame. Let's go back to this. Notifications, I'm not even going to click that. It just tells you if you have any Mii's coming on your console, if you have anything like that coming up. And here is the web browser. Oh wait, there is no web browser yet because they launched the system before it was fully ready. The internet browser is supposed to come along with the eShop at the end of May, which is only in a couple weeks. Hopefully it will, because I'm definitely looking forward to playing some old Game Boy games and some new original games, which also, it does include whatever's on the DSi. I'm not very familiar with that platform, so you can also get the DSi games in this new 3DS shop. Hopefully pretty soon. But this is how the system launched. Nothing has changed as of this video. One cool thing though is the camera. No matter what you're doing in a game, you can actually sync out of it, go home, and press the trigger. When you press the trigger, it'll automatically start the camera. You can only take photos, you can't actually go through your photos, but this really helps when you're playing a game just to have a immediate camera picture. Just, my hand. See? Yeah. Unfortunately, it does save it without asking if you want to, but that's just how it works while you're in game. It does get deeper, as I'll show you right now. Let's see. 3DS camera. Yeah, one problem with this camera, it's already extremely dated. In 5 or 6 years' time, this is going to be a pretty big deal. This camera does not look that good. My cell phone camera from like '09 looks a lot better than this, and I don't have some, I have this. That's my cell phone, not exactly top of the line, and it has a much better camera, which is very upsetting. But enough lamenting about the camera, let's take a look. You can also, this is the 3D, it shoots 3D camera images off the two cameras over here, so if you're pointing at something, you can always get it in 3D. It automatically goes in 3D. However, you can also take pictures with the inner camera. Hello. You can also take pictures with the inner camera, however, the inner camera is not 3D, so you can't do anything with it. Here you can view photos. You can also manipulate photos. There's a picture of my hand that I'm going to erase because that's silly. Let's see. You can also, we'll get into the AR things in a minute, but you can also put the actual characters in the software and put them with your camera. This sounded very awkward, I'm sorry. You can basically put three-dimensional characters in your little world via the camera. I'll demonstrate some of these. There you go, here I am consulting an alien. Probably not something I really want going out there. There are Pikmin in my grass. It was really nice out, so I decided to test the camera out earlier. There is apparently a Latino Link holding up a rupee. Kirby jumping away from some frogs. Me pointing at the camera. It's probably much more impressive in 3D rather than just this 2D. Here's my cat. The 3D works wonderfully. I mean, I will say, if you look at it dead on, the cat's coming out of the screen. There's my Mii. Also, here's my code. You can actually take a picture of this code and it'll put my Mii in your game, or any Mii. Pretty cool feature in all honesty. Here is Samus attacking my cat, Mrs. Kelly. Blasting her right in the face. You can see the AR card right here, which is how the DS knows where the character is at all times. Pikmin climbing up my cat Aiden. Yeah, I take pictures of my cats a lot, if you haven't noticed. My cat Aiden, this looks really cool in 3D. He's popping out of the screen. Of course, you can't see it. Mario jumping off my mother's head. A Mountain Dew can that looks super 3D. You can also do two characters at the same time. Samus blasting Mario. And Samus next to yet another Mountain Dew can. All kinds of neat things you can do with the camera, even though it's a pretty crappy camera in all honesty.